Hey, what's up, peeps? You're listening to the Let Loose with Lou podcast. I'm a full time working woman, mother of 3, and a wifey to one lucky man. My passion is getting to know people, listening to their stories, and learning from their points of view on life. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy it. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Let Loose with Lou. My co-host, Tuna.
What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? Hey, today we're gonna be talking about age differences in dating. What do you think about that?
I think that's pretty good.
Right?
Let's see how it goes.
On both sides. So we're talking older dating younger and younger dating older. The pros, the cons, the spice. We're talking everything here.
All right. We're going to get all the juicy gossip, right?
All the juicy.
All the juiciness. And we have Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. We have Cheryl.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Mark.
Yeah.
Here we go. So since we're going to talk about age differences, let's start off with Ryan. Ryan, so how old are you?
I'm 48.
And you dated a woman of?
She's 9.5 years older than me.
Ooh, almost 10.
Yeah, 9.5 older than me.
Okay.
We met, I was in my 20s. She was in her 30s and smoking hot back then. Yeah, she's still a pretty woman. She's still a really pretty woman. Not to knock her. I mean, I'll give her that. Soon to be divorced. But that being said, she is a very beautiful woman on the outside.
So let me ask you, what attracted you to her? Like, what was it that caught your eye? That's a huge age difference. You got to think, put in consideration children. You were young. Did you want children?
I did, and that was one of the things before we got married that we agreed upon, that we were going to have kids of our own, and she had 3 kids already that were in elementary school, and I was like, okay, I'm on board if we can have kids. And then after we got married, she said no kids, and I went, oh, but I'd already fell in love with the kids, the family, with her, and so to be that traditional man, step up and fill that role. And you sit and look and go, anybody in that situation out there, I'll tell you straight out and be honest with you, be very careful. There's a lot of red flags that I did see, I ignored. Friends and family told me, whoa, dude, what are you doing? I thought I knew better. And the biggest thing you could do is listen to your friends and family in that, because they're going to have your back on it if they're honest and true to you. And not to knock my ex-wife, or any of the kids or family, but it is a challenge. It is a challenge all the way through. In the beginning, it's hard. You have to realize also, as a stepdad, that's a very hard thing with kids. Their own father wasn't involved with them, so it made it easier for me, but yet very hard because it was very one-sided in things, discipline and other things too, which made it hard. And each case is going to be a little bit different, but I would suggest really, really, really thinking it through, because I got really sabotaged by the no kids thing. And that was something I personally really wanted. And not to say I didn't raise my stepkids, because they've been involved with me, still are, even after we've been 2 years into a divorce. My stepson lives with me. I talk to the girls once a week. They're both nurses. He's actually still in college. But it's a challenge. And later on down the road, menopause.
Menopause. Yeah, we're going to have to hit that.
It's something, I'm telling you. It changes.
That's the other.
It changes. And being 9 years younger, I mean, I'm still a go-getter guy. I'm alpha in a lot of ways. And so
was fertility an issue, you think? Like, as far, because obviously, so that's 10 whole years, right? And then women have a way smaller window of being fertile, right? Compared to a man. A man could have a child when he's 78. I mean,
78.
You know what I mean? Biologically speaking. So was that an issue for you, like right off the bat, or was that something that you guys discussed prior?
No, we discussed prior. So it was on the table, and then after she got the hook, claw, and sinker in me, and we got married, and then it was right after we got married. It's like, hey, I really want to have kids, and it was like, nope, I'm too old. She was 35 or 36. You're not too old.
Oh God,
And so,
had
and
little
so I
kids.
resented that a lot. I really did a lot because I was like, I felt sabotaged in that.
Mhm.
It's a difficult thing. And you can look back and you can place blame, but there's only one dummy I got to blame. And it's sitting right here and he's looking at you guys,
And
right? I made my
Love
Love
choice.
is blind, bro. Love is
Made my
blind.
choice.
Well, your intentions were good.
Yeah.
They've always
Yes,
been pure.
yes.
And that's the man I am.
Yes, yes. And so with that said, we're going to move over here to Cheryl. Cheryl, how old are you?
I will be 43 next week.
43. Happy early
Thank
birthday.
you.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
So let me ask you, what's the youngest you've dated?
The youngest I've dated is 25.
25.
Ooh, girl.
Woo! Who was that lucky gentleman?
This gentleman right here next to me.
And Mark,
What?
how did?
Hello.
Hello.
Wait,
hello,
currently
welcome.
still together or not together?
Not together.
Oh, it's about to get interesting up in here.
Yes,
All right.
there we
Wait,
go.
wait, wait,
Oh,
we got
wow.
differing opinions here?
Different
Complicated.
opinions.
Complicated.
Okay.
Not together, but
It's complicated.
Complicated.
So
So you guys
So-
still fuck. Got it. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. Here we go.
Alrighty. So, what caught your eye?
Actually, well, it's not intentional. I mean, everyone I've ever been with, I have an ex-husband. My ex I was with for 14 years. They've all been younger than me, and it's never been intentional. It's just, I don't know what it is that I'm not necessarily attracted to them, but they're attracted to me, I want to say. And when I met Mark, he was with people that were in their 30s, and I had no idea how old he was. But we had a good conversation, and I didn't actually even know how old he was till maybe a couple weeks after that.
Because
I mean, I knew he
a
looked
baby.
young,
Yeah,
yes.
because he looks like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that face. Look at
Looks
that.
like
Yeah.
Bad Bunny. Miami.
He's
That's
very,
really-
he's very,
Wait,
very
if
handsome.
Bad
Miami
Bunny-
vibes.
If Bad Bunny and
Drake had a baby.
and Dre had a baby, this would be
This
it
guy.
right there.
This guy right here.
Actually, yeah, when I met him, I don't think I thought anything. And then it wasn't until after we kind of started talking, and it just went from there.
Having a day.
How long did you guys date?
Actually, if we go back to the receipts, because
Oh.
he says that I was really into him, and we went back to the receipts, and it actually was the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Well, what attracted? Well, let's jump over to you real quick.
It's my turn now.
Yeah, just so we can mix it together. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
Oh,
yes.
okay, for sure.
How
You gotta
old are
mesh
you?
this.
Yeah, well, my name is Mark. Well, I'm 25. She just said it.
And the age difference is?
Do some
I was
math.
trying to do some math right now. But
Okay, see, that's the difference between a 25 and
It
a 4
doesn't
year.
really matter.
Yeah.
16 years.
It's about, yeah.
16
Girl.
years.
16
girl.
years.
Yeah.
Girl.
Cradle Robin. Like,
Ooh.
yeah.
Rock on.
Damn.
So,
Kudos to you.
mind you, I never really knew I was, I've always kind of had a thing for older women, and I never really knew I was going to have a shot with them because I thought they always go for like older in their age or whatever. So I've always wanted to experience it, and, you know, everything I hear about them, you know,
So what have you heard?
yeah, a lot.
Okay, come on.
Uh-oh.
That's
Got
right. We're
my
talking
time.
about it. Let's
Older
do
woman's
it.
gonna rock your world. That's what you
There you
heard.
go.
Hey, and no capping, okay?
Okay.
No cap.
Experience.
Well, you know, yeah, well seasoned, you know what I'm saying? They're really mature, they take care of you, you know, as far as like in the bedroom, you know, they know they've been through a lot of stuff, so they know what they want and how they train you and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to experience the whole thing and stuff, and when I met her, I kind of like, it was like a connection, you know, where I kind of wanted to pursue it. And even though I was playing hard to get, she was telling me have a good day every day, you know, and I was kind of just, you know, going along with it.
Damn. Girl.
Play hard
You
to
were
get.
playing hard to get? It wasn't too hard.
It wasn't.
Didn't
It
bring the
wasn't.
box
She
of gloves in
actually,
here.
she was
This
able
is
to.
getting real
It's getting
quick.
good, huh? Let's talk about some more juicy stuff here.
Like,
Okay, well, since we are talking about juicy stuff,
Yes.
right? What is it about him intimately that you enjoyed? Was it the energy, right? Because he doesn't get tired all the time. He's young. He's got all that. He's got that
Stamina.
drive. He's got that
Stamina.
stamina, right? He's got that
Hey, us
youth.
old guys got that too. What are you talking about,
remember
bro?
those days, don't you?
I'm still in those days, bro. What are you talking
Like, you
about?
70 years old.
What are you talking about? I'm still in those days.
Ryan, you remember those days?
Oh, I still do.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
still that way.
All right.
I'm like
Don't
the
shame my
Energizer
game.
Bunny over here. No joke.
I mean, what was it?
I want to say, like, outside of the bedroom, I guess really like attracted me to him, and just I've actually learned a lot from him.
Mhm.
Kind of like what I like, what I don't like, what I'll tolerate, what I won't tolerate. And it's been definitely like a journey. I definitely think, younger guys in the bedroom definitely like probably more stamina. They're more, because the age. Oh, like when you think about like, I guess having sex back in the day, it was a lot different. It was a lot more private. And now I think people are more open-minded, for sure. Open-minded.
You filmed it and put it on the internet, you're saying?
No.
I'm just playing.
And
I did, but not that.
then it must be like the new era because
It's-
because let me tell you
a
something.
lot more
Back
open.
then in the days, dating a younger guy wasn't the thing.
Well-
Because they didn't know what to do. And women at an older age, we know what we want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And when they're younger, all they want to do is just fuck. That's it. They just want to get it over and done with.
Well, think about how crazy it is. Water used to be free and you have to pay for porn, and now porn's free and you got to pay for water. I mean,
Right?
look how
Yeah.
crazy our
crazy
world
our
is.
world
now,
is.
right?
Yes.
As a kid, when you're growing up in the 80s and 90s, you had to go into a liquor store and hope they were going to sell you something or find something. in the
Find someone
riverbed.
to buy you,
it was
right?
It was
Yeah.
not easy to get, stuff like that.
Oh, we
but I
had
mean,
still
and
frame
nowadays,
magazines, bro.
you
there was
need
no video.
a
back then.
child
It was
and
just
Yeah,
pictures.
you just get past
Yeah.
a
Playboy
parental
magazine.
block. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty nuts.
It
but
is crazy because that's our
there's
era
so much
now.
more information now.
Yeah.
And but not to negate that, you girls get a lot more randy when you get into your 30s and a little bit later too. But
I agree.
yeah,
Statistically speaking, as the women get older, the sex drive goes higher. And
Yes.
as the man get older, their sex drive gets lower. It's weird how
Very weird.
the creator, whoever it might be, right, whoever you believe in, does that to where it's the opposite.
I like it though.
Right?
I'm
Brings
saying?
a little,
But
brings a little bit of
I'm
flavor
into
in
it.
there.
I think that when you're going through menopause, it truly becomes higher. Like there was times where, there was a time where it was just like crazy, but as you get older and you go through your whole menopause, you kind of like slow down a little bit,
So it like goes like this.
It
kind of.
goes like way high.
And then it just
and then you're like,
meters.
whoa. Yeah. And then
yeah, and then it just disappears.
You
in my
did-
case.
thank
It
you.
just
It just
disappeared, and I was like,
disappeared.
"What the hell happened? I don't
And
know
it's
what
just-
happened." And then
and
it
it's
was like,
just
"Nope."
out of nowhere. Something that you loved. It's like, wait, what happened? You
It just
know?
it's something that physiologically messes with your imbalance, and then all of a sudden that drive is just
It's
gone.
gone.
And-
It's horrible.
That's
and-
unfortunate.
And as men, we will always love boobies. There's nothing that can change that, and we'll always be happy till the day we die to see boobies.
Dude, I'll be
And we will-
80.
yeah.
Still-
Hey, we might slow down a little bit, but we ain't changing.
I know,
much.
right? No
We are
kidding.
always the same.
Absolutely.
So
not.
back on track. Okay, so what do you think of everything he said so far, Cheryl?
I don't know. What has he said so far?
Actually, you've just been positive stuff.
Yeah.
So we all know clearly. You guys said you are not together anymore. So what was it that made you guys make that decision to go ahead and break off the relationship?
I think
Who's gonna go first?
Let's Cheryl. We want to go first. Ladies
Talking about,
first.
like, break off the relationship.
Right, because you guys are not together, complicated. Right. So what made it unofficial?
I want to say lack of communication.
Now is that
Guys are
because
very
of the
good at
age
that.
difference?
are
Actually, I
very
want to
good at
say
that.
We
I
are.
would
Yeah.
like to think he was a better communicator than I am. And so when we would ever get in, we didn't argue too much, but if we ever did an argument, he would say, "Don't think like this is over," because I'm really quick to be like, "Okay, I'm done." Like, and so because of the age difference, because
Exactly.
he wants to get married and have kids. Obviously, I'm not going to have any more kids,
Mm.
and so I always told him like, let's just have fun, see what happens, and I'm all about just having fun, right? So I always said when it's not fun anymore, we'll stop.
Gotcha. But you know that, that once you try to have fun with somebody, eventually, inevitably,
Yeah, I don't
It's
think we
gonna
were
turn into
expecting.
something
I don't think we were
else.
expecting.
Exactly.
Big time.
and then no
One,
matter
if
who
not both
says
of you
who,
is
it
gonna
always
hurt.
happens.
Right.
It always happens.
Yeah,
We
because you
did not
catch
expect
feelings,
that.
not flights.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's
No,
what
and,
happens.
I
Yeah.
want to say like from he really like let me live in like my feminine era and my feminine energy.
Oh shit, my bad. I didn't mean to touch that.
Oh.
Wow.
Cut that out.
Oh,
I
geez.
accidentally touched it and it was a cricket. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But
That's messed
No.
up, man.
Dude, bro, I just literally fat fingered it. I'm so sorry.
But I
That was
think
my bad.
I came out of a 14-year relationship, and I think I kind of had to like have a more masculine energy in that relationship.
Mhm.
So I loved like he was a gentleman. He took that leadership role. He was a man, and he let me kind of live in that era, and that's what I really love about him. Like I want to bring back chivalry. Come on, he's very chivalrous, so I really appreciate that.
It's really rare to find in a younger guy, man.
Oh,
So
big
kudos
It's
to you.
still alive. It
Mind you, I
really
come-
is, and,
No,
and good for
yeah.
you for being that
There's
man.
hope,
Yes,
man. There's hope.
good for you.
Yeah.
Keep that
The
up.
new generation.
That traditional man's
And
still
I
out
believe
there.
in that. Like I believe in it. Like my husband will literally still open the door to the cars and the house for me. Or even if we go to the restaurants, like that's one thing. I'll stand there.
Mandatory.
And I
Yes.
teach my 14-year-old that too. I will stand by the door and I'm like, you need to open that door for your mother because you're going to open it up for your girlfriend or your wife one
Absolutely.
day. Or your daughter. Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree.
Only one
Amen.
little caveat to that, women out there, younger women, just make sure that you're appreciative of your man doing this for you.
Totally.
We're
Because
simple creatures.
We're very
simple.
A lot of
It
a lot
doesn't
of
take a
people,
whole lot to make us
lot of
happy.
girls don't do this nowadays. A guy opens up for you, just say thank you. It's really not that hard. Not that hard.
Thank you, and that's
And I
very
think I
sweet
did.
of
I think
you.
I showed my
Very,
appreciation.
You compliment a man, and it
Sometimes.
goes a long
Exactly.
ways.
That's the
Older
little
man,
things.
younger
It's
man,
the
it doesn't
little
matter.
things that make you
It-
happy.
We go out of our way to make that happen, and but in a lot of ways in life, we do.
Yes.
that. And it's
And that's
that
really
little bit of
important, though.
appreciation will go miles.
I think this era has really lost that, and it does need to come back. I think that's why a lot of relationships go sour
Mhm.
or they go south.
Well, there's multiple things.
Or they burn in flames like mine did. Yeah.
But to steer back to it, so as far as your past, meaning, do you come from a family that's still married? Like, are your mom and dad like
Yeah.
married? Like, they're still
For
together?
sure, yeah.
So what is the image of you? What would you like to have in the future? Do you want to have children?
Yeah.
Like, so then that for you guys, that was a huge, back to the fertility thing, right? So that was a big deal breaker for you guys as far as that came. How did that make you feel as far as him, feeling that way?
Well, I was always, I think, supportive of it. I always told him, like, I think he would be a really great dad. He would be a great husband one day. And I want to say when we started this, I mean, it's been like almost 2 years. When we started this, we were very open about, I think, what we both wanted. And like I said, we didn't expect to have the connection that we had. But I was very supportive of it. I know, like, I get what he's trying to do. I mean, he's kind of young still. So, like, I know it's still he has some years left. So I kept thinking, like, okay, he has a couple years left, I'm just going to have fun, with him and, see where it goes. And we did. We had a lot of fun.
Now, to caveat on that, do you feel like a little guilty for kind of stringing him along?
No, I don't think I was stringing him along at all.
Because at that point, you're thinking about your fun. You're thinking about yourself. You're not
but
thinking
he
about
had fun.
Yeah,
his.
but at the same time, the guy kind of chooses what he wants too. So.
Right. Well, that's the whole point of this.
But then I
conversation.
know what you're saying.
Right.
Like she's kind of like being selfish and let him.
Right,
Yeah,
because you could have a little bit of fun, but at the same time, realistically speaking, if that's something that you really wanted, then I would have been,
Right.
or not. I would, somebody else, maybe whoever,
Yeah.
could have been like, "Hey, dude, you know what? I know this is something that you really want. This was really fun. I really appreciate us in our time together, but it's probably a better time for you to go ahead and continue a relationship with somebody else so that you can have those things that you want."
But see,
You know what
they
I mean?
probably didn't think it was going to go this far. They
Right.
probably thought it was going to be for fun.
Right, but how long is fun? When does it change from fun to not fun?
Well, and that's what we spoke about before. It's right. Didn't we just talk about
I
this?
passed that threshold, so I know
Yes.
exactly where that's
Yes.
at. But for them, I mean, good for you guys. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with knocking boots and having fun and entertaining that. And to go from being young and even if it's the other way around, it doesn't matter. It's that there comes a point where you make a decision, and the decision is this is going to be best for me, or you're going to say I'm going to do the right thing because I want to support her, and you're going to sacrifice yourself. And one way or another, one of you is going to lose in that, or both of you are going to lose in that. It's very rare that both win in that. It's a very tough road because
Double-edged
somebody's going to
sword.
sacrifice something,
Totally.
right? And
this,
And the fun part is just having fun together. I mean, they're both getting something out of it. They're both having a crush on each other. They're having fun. They're screwing around, doing their thing. That's a good thing. It's wholesome. It's great. But when it comes down to brass tacks, it's not a bad thing to move the other way. It doesn't mean you don't care about each other. But
Right.
if he desires kids, yeah, dude, go for that. I'm
Right.
cool. I mean, but the more time you spend together, the more that
It's
is
harder.
harder to break
Yes.
apart.
Yes.
because
That's what I'm saying.
we're
It's like
meant to be that
when
way.
when do you
Yes.
call it? You know
Well,
what I mean?
exactly.
So yeah,
Bro.
so but aside from that, let's talk about like my age. I only have so many good years left. So he has many, many years, right? And
Right.
so thinking about the opposite, like I need to start thinking about possibly like finding someone like a partner that I'm going to settle down with, But for him, I always thought like, okay, he's probably, I feel like guys trying to get married around 30 years old now. I think that's a good age to get married and have children.
Mhm.
And so I thought, okay, he has 5 good years and he can find someone in a couple of years from now. But me, on the other hand, like I'm going to be 43. So
In 5 years, you'll be 48.
You could still crank them out if you wanted.
I'm
to.
sure.
You
I'll-
you could, but
Crank 'em out.
it is
really
interesting.
could.
Come on, and when you say a value between a man and a woman, it does change as a single man and a single woman. Not married, but as a single man and a single woman, it does change. When girls are younger, they're way more valuable, and that same man that they wouldn't have paid attention to when they're in their 30s and 40s, all of a sudden they're paying attention to as that man becomes in his 40s,
Mhm.
late 30s and 40s, is successful. Then all of a sudden, ooh, younger women are really interested in me for some reason because I have something to provide.
You're established.
Women, it is status, but
No, established.
yeah, that too. But women truly, and not just fun, but women need a sense of being provided for. It's what does he do? What does he think? What does he do for a living? How is he as a man? Those are things that are important. Guys, I've heard it said he'll go out and marry the girl that works at Burger King and not give a crap. She's smoking hot and she's going to rock my world and I'm all about it and I can treat her
That's
like a
always
princess. Guys are we're wired differently, and it's not a bad thing, but from a young age, we're different to an older age. And I hate to say our values change because it's not our personal values, but it's like our stock goes up the older we get as men because all of a sudden we're typically a lot more successful, a lot more strong.
Property value.
And hey, my truck breaks. I know I'm going to go rip that thing apart and fix it, right? I don't got to go to a mechanic. I'm going to handle it, right, Tuna? You're going to go do the same thing.
Yeah.
As a younger man, you're going to be like, oh, what do I do? Well, nowadays you got Google, YouTube, and repeat, which is great, but it is a challenge. But each generation is kind of losing that go-getter attitude.
I will say one thing that kind of initially attracted me to him. He was like he's done a lot of different jobs, and he seems to be very handy, and he was helping me out. I had just bought a new home at that time, a new condo, and he was very like helpful, and it kind of was a turn on. I was like, okay, look at this,
He's
look
driven.
at this man who's he's chivalrous, he's this and that, and he's like handy because we all need handy men
Absolutely.
around.
Bad props.
Opened all my doors, paid all this stuff. So like it was a really big turn on for me.
So, to me, men are like a bottle of wine. The older they are, the finer they are, right? That's how I see it. A man could be 60 years old, and if he's refined, it's like, even when he has gray hair, it's just like, oh my God.
He has gray hair.
Yeah.
I actually do. You
Wait,
always been
what?
like that?
He
You're
has gray-
26?
he has-
Oh, dude, you're in
he's 25.
trouble, bro.
I have a lot of gray hairs.
Oh.
Dang.
That's
Hey,
okay.
it's
because
call you a silver fox, bro. It's all
wisdom.
good.
I blame her
man.
for
Like I
the
said,
summer.
our stock goes
It's
up.
all that stress, right?
You've always been like that, actually?
Hey, you brought that out of him,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
I've always been like that.
As a kid, you've always liked older.
Yes, because there's just something about older men that I've always been attractive. And I dated a younger guy, and I just was, I don't know,
Wasn't
no,
for
it
you.
just wasn't for me because I was 6 years older. He wanted, to be serious in the relationship. I had just gotten out of a divorce. I didn't want children. I didn't want to remarry. Then I met my husband, and I remarried, and then
I had a child.
we had a baby. Yeah, it was
Everything that you didn't
everything
wanna
that
do,
we
you did.
didn't. Yes, but everything is timing.
It goes in
with
seasons.
the right person. Basically, that's what happens. You meet the right person, and it happens regardless.
Mhm.
But girls are just like you said. We're all wired differently. Girls, we could be 5 years old, and we're playing with Barbies, and we know Ken's gonna marry Barbie. Like it's automatic. Like we know how many kids Barbie's gonna have. Where Ken's gonna drive off to work.
She's not going to have any kids. Ken came in a different box.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bad joke.
That was wait. We gotta put that. Dun, dun, dun.
Which
Oh,
one?
The
yeah.
crickets.
Oh, the
He just
crickets.
got it. The crickets.
Crickets.
That was
There
funny.
you go.
But we just we're so funny. We're just wired differently,
We are.
than men, and that's
Absolutely.
what it comes down to. Men, they don't know what they want until they get way older
Yeah.
in life. You possibly are just that one exception. Your parents are probably in a very healthy marriage, correct?
I was gonna tell you on top of that, my parents are actually much older from my age.
Mhm.
They're like seniors actually,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that has to do with it plays a lot with it, part of it, because I kind of read about it somewhere where if your parents had you at an old age, you tend to grow up to like older women.
Mhm.
So I kind of felt
Good
like,
point.
damn, that's kind of true. Like I really kind of attracted to a woman more now because I've dealt with and worked in a lot of situations where younger women are around me and stuff, and when I'm around older women, I tend to kind of just connect with them more or whatever, and just I guess I have an old soul, so it's like,
So
He
how
does
how
also.
how old was your mom when she had you?
well, I don't really remember their age, but right now my mom was like 65,
And
I'm
then you're
25,
25, so she
Yeah.
was 40.
40.
around there. Yeah.
So yeah, so that makes a hell of
My
a lot.
dad
Okay.
though, he's 73, so
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that
are
makes a lot of
you
sense.
the only child?
no, I have 2 other siblings. They're older, much
Older. So you're the baby.
Yeah, they're married.
Okay.
I'm the baby.
So you're the baby. So do you feel that it could have been like maybe not that it's a mommy issue thing, but more like because I have a 14
Motherly
year old.
instinct.
Yes, exactly.
I was
so
gonna
you're
say that.
yes, and
Yeah.
so you're looking more for older women because you're gonna get coddled and loved and
No
"Oh,
man's
you're
gonna
so
admit
cute."
that.
Yeah,
No man
will
come
ever
on,
admit
Mark,
that.
let's
I don't
admit
know if
it.
I
Don't put him on the spot on that.
We're putting
Lou.
it.
It's not a
Let
bad
loose
thing,
with
man.
Lou.
Yeah,
Comfort
Come
thing.
on.
hey, tell her the truth though.
Go right ahead,
Tell her the
buddy.
truth.
Honestly,
No caps.
I mean, I guess
I don't
a
mean to
little bit,
press,
a
but-
little bit, but I don't really think so. To be honest, with you. I
No?
think I just tend to kind of because I feel like older women they don't get as much love from younger people. So like I feel like I'm here to do that. Like I actually
Like it's your
I like
responsibility,
you.
bro.
Don't worry about the younger one. I'm here to tell you I like you. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So
here.
why are
You
you
were put on this
laughing about
world.
Exactly.
Yeah, to
Okay,
please
sure.
the older generation.
Okay, Cheryl, why is
I don't know.
this
He's
funny?
good. He's good. He's charming, and I really feel like he made me feel seen,
Mhm.
and I think he does that. I mean, he dates older women. It's not just myself, and I feel like maybe we're missing something. One thing I always appreciate about him, I was like, "You're 25. You could be at the club. You could be here. You can be there." And like, he is old soul. Like, he would love like just staying at home and watching like a show,
Mhm.
for example. I mean, not that he doesn't go to the club, but you know what I mean, like.
Mhm.
For his like fun, like when I was in my 20s, like I was all up in the club,
Yeah.
and it's so much different for him. I want to say that's not how he has fun.
So when you guys went out, was he like the trophy boyfriend?
That's what he would like to think.
Arm
Big
candy.
time.
Right?
You know.
'Cause
Show
that's
Oh,
what
you
I
know,
thought.
it made you feel good.
He
a
thought
little.
it
You
was
walk
funny.
in,
No,
you're
I mean,
like, oh,
he
what's
has
up?
style. Look at that.
Yeah, he's
By the
No, he-
way,
Yeah, we already
let's
said
see
that.
what you look like without those glasses, please. Let's see those eyes.
Not
Okay,
cool
there
enough.
we
Put
go.
him back on.
Nah,
No, he's
Bruh.
very, very handsome. Actually, when I first saw him, I didn't think anything. I don't think I even thought
Yeah,
he
she
was.
really didn't.
I don't even think I thought he was good looking. He shook my hand so hard, like I was like, what kind of guy is gonna shake my hand? Like, I'm a female, like shake it softer. And we kind of just started talking. But it wasn't until after. I love his personality. I love his smile, and he always made me laugh. But I don't. Obviously he's good looking, and so yeah. I
I
mean,
think that's really that's the one that outweighs everything else.
No,
Yeah,
I
is that
think-
you
I
think that's
think-
the number
No.
one?
No,
factor?
It's because of your looks, right?
I think it's your
Maybe.
pers-
I
I mean,
don't know.
come on.
Hey,
come
you
on.
made her laugh. That's
No,
number
that's what I
one,
was
bro.
gonna say.
You made
He
her
made me
laugh.
laugh.
That is number one. You make a girl laugh,
Mhm.
and you are
For
gonna
sure.
break through all of her barriers and walls. Right with that, if you can make her laugh, it's a special thing.
his personality for sure.
That is it.
Yeah.
His
Mhm.
character too. He's got an
Yes.
old school character. Because
Yeah.
when I shook your hand, bro, you shook it like a man, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like a
I was like,
hardworking
well, because I-
gentleman, right?
You know, I
He
got
shook my hand like a
daughter.
man.
I got my daughter. She dates little dudes or whatever, and then they'll
What?
shake my hand, and they're all like flimsy. I'm like,
Oh,
what the
no.
fuck?
Oh, you got
Why you gotta
kids?
shake your hand?
It's
Yeah, I got-
scary,
I got
right?
3?
Yeah, I have 3.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That is
My
scary.
girls are dating, and trust me, it's not. It's some of the boys that meet. It's like, oh yeah, daddy testing. Here we go, And
That's
I'm a
nice.
traditional man. I love to hunt. I love to fish. I shoot stuff, drag it down a mountain, skin
Nice.
it, cook it,
So
eat
fun.
it.
Eat
I
it.
love that.
So-
But this new generation
Is not
they're
like
missing
it.
stuff.
See, I raised a boy.
Yeah.
And I think my boy is pretty, I don't know. I mean, I think he's pretty old school. What do you think?
So yeah, I do know her son. I do think he is old school. Yes, I would say
He-
that. Yes,
yeah. He is.
He's an old soul as
yeah.
well.
He's definitely an old soul. And he's pretty, well, I don't know in a relationship how he is. So I wouldn't, but I mean, I hope, he learned how to put things together and, I'm hoping that he's good to all the girls that he's with. But yeah.
I will say he is a gentleman
Okay.
and he's very thoughtful. One thing I love about your son is that when at the time when I had just left my ex and I was of 14 years and I was it was the holidays, I remember, and he welcomed me with your family.
Mhm.
And I just felt so welcomed by you guys and his dad's side and your side. And I will never forget that. And I'm like indebted to him for that because the time I needed someone the most, like he was there for me. And I really appreciate that about him. He's very thoughtful.
How old is he?
He's 33. He just turned 33.
He just turned 34.
Oh, 34.
Yes. Yes. 34, right? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You're right. 33. My daughter's 34. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
They
losing
grow
it.
up fast, don't they? It's
They
scary.
grow too fast.
It's scary.
That is scary.
Your daughter's awesome as well, by the way. Love
Thank
her.
you. I know. I'm really hard on my kids, but I want them to, I want them to really, I don't know, be the adults that they should be, because I don't see that establishment of anymore. It's hard. You don't see that. It's really sad. And I was 18 when I had my daughter. 18. At age 20, I had 2 kids already.
Mhm.
That's
That's
crazy.
normal in our
Sorry.
Yeah, but I had 2
It is.
jobs.
It's
you
very
know?
normal, man.
I had
That's
2
so-
jobs, raising 2 kids, married, yeah, the whole thing. But you don't see that anymore. And that's the scary part.
Well, that honor, integrity, and character is something that you got to instill in them. And that's something that a lot of people nowadays just don't have too. But then also, it's a lot harder to live right now than it was for our parents and my grandparents' generations. I mean, we're really, and even in the Great Depression, I mean, per capita, the numbers are crazy when you break it down wage wise between owning a home, even in the Great Depression, compared to now in California, New York, and some of these states that are just so blown out of proportion, it makes it very difficult. But to raise a kid that has those same values is a special thing. It's a hard thing because you're challenged so much more than our parents' generation was because everything's available to them. I mean, they learn everything so fast off of the internet and everything else that's coming at them so much faster than we did. They don't learn quite the hard way like we did. We went to school of hard knocks.
Yeah, I was just
Right?
going to say
We went
hard
to school
knocks.
hard knocks,
Totally, yes.
right?
I agree. Everything was hands on. Like you better learn or you get an ass whooping.
Right. And now they can just look everything up and it's
Google
like,
it.
it's crazy. I mean, kids bust out some serious knowledge and you're just like, oh, I got to go look that up. Hold on. But when it comes to life skills,
There's no more.
it's a lot farther and fewer because they're sitting in front of a TV or a computer or a video game. And it's like, they're not
all
up there
life skills.
going
The
down a
social
mountain. They're
skills
not
is
doing
what's
the
like-
Midwest has things like 4-H that the kids are in, and it's wholesome. I mean, it's something that teaches them, hey, this is your food. You're going to raise this. You're going to kill this. You're going
Mhm.
to eat this. And that's something that being in the city here and in other cities, you don't learn, you don't understand.
Hey,
And
guys,
that's
FAA
something that's
out here,
crazy.
It's weird because I'm from El Paso and we have like farmers association. Like we shot rifles when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like we
Well,
learned how to shoot rifles.
We learned how to
Texas.
sew. We learned how to cook. We had home ec, like all that stuff.
Yeah, in South
Yeah,
Central, they go,
farming.
you learn how to do a drive-by at the age of 12 instead of go hunt deer.
Oh, now
I'm being facetious, by the way. I'm being totally facetious.
No, I know, but yeah, we get.
but
you know,
it's a different culturally in the cities. It's so much different than the country. And I was blessed to spend half my time in Iowa and Nevada. And then when I was a kid, I was maybe 10 when I came to California, but I still spent all my summers in Iowa and Nevada. Different perspective on life, a different
Mhm.
perspective of people. And when you see those older generations and you talk to great grandpa who you're not related to, and you sit and you talk to these guys, man, the wisdom they
the
had.
wisdom of
The guys that
stories.
built the Hoover Dam. I mean, there are men out there that were just solid, rock solid, but women were different too. There's that traditional role that was important in both of them, and both roles have changed. And
Well,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it
to
doesn't
kinda
mean that
steer
they're
it
not
back-
there. It just means they've changed through
But-
society.
Right. But to steer it back to the whole age gap,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I feel like for him, she has that core tradition, right? She has the traditions of a woman,
Mm.
right? And younger girls, correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't have that. They don't have the traditional women
Traditional.
aspects. They're completely different women.
Right.
So I can see why you're attracted to an older woman.
and I was
Exactly.
gonna say, like, even in my mother didn't have to work. My dad solely provided.
Mhm.
Back then, the wife was able to stay home, cook, clean, watch the kids,
Be
maintain the
traditional.
house. Traditional, exactly. the husband was able to support a household. Nowadays, you can't do that. Both parents have to work 10 to 12 hours a day, drive an hour out of the way just to get to work, to provide for the children. Children are left at daycare centers, after school programs. It's horrible.
Mhm.
You can't keep tradition nowadays. You can't.
Unless
It's
you're
hard.
really
You
rich.
can, but it's
Social
very
media
difficult.
makes it very
And
hard.
Social
It's really
media
difficult.
hurts it too.
Yes.
Then
yes.
go ahead. You can stay at home
I
while you
agree.
want.
I have-
But
I got a
there
question
there
for
is
him.
something attractive about older women, and
Right.
as I've gotten older, I still think girls in their 50s are pretty hot, but I'm like 60s, 70s. I'm like, ooh, not so much. And
I'm still gonna be hot when I'm 60, by the way.
I believe it. I totally believe it. But like I said, that this is going to change your whole life. You might be attracted in one way, and then that might change. It shifts as you grow older.
Right.
It's something that, like knowledge, you grow deeper in knowledge and wisdom, and that those tastes and those things. And again, when girls are young, they've got the pick of the litter, and as they get older, I'm not saying they don't have the pick of the litter, but to a man, it is a different perspective in your 20s and 30s than your 40s and 50s. And then once you're established as a man and you understand who you are, what you bring to the table, when you know exactly where you sit in everything in this world, everything changes.
Absolutely.
Everything changes.
I bring the
question-
whole table.
Yeah,
and
well,
a
I
question
believe
for
it.
you. A question for you,
Mark?
dude, because to Mark. So as you get older, obviously she's gonna get older. But let's say you're in your 40s. Would you still be attracted to 60-year-olds?
65.
65-year-olds, or do you think your flavors will change at that point and you'll go after? Because for guys that are older, usually they start getting attracted more towards younger.
Yeah. But after I had my experience with the older woman, I kind of thought about that, and I thought all that about like in the future and everything. I really feel like it might change. To be honest with you,
It might change when you're ready to have children and into a good marriage.
because
too.
me as in my 40s or 50s, seeing someone older, they're not gonna be able to take me in the bedroom at all. So I kind of
Hey,
won't be
dude, if
able
you've
to-
ever been to a senior center, they're bumping uglies like crazy, bro. They don't mess around, dude.
A
I'm
man
not
in
gonna lie,
Florida
you're
was
right.
just
Yeah,
arrested for
there's
selling
more STDs in
$2,000
senior homes than anywhere else.
Whoa,
worth
really?
of blue pills.
Get
A man in
Yeah.
Florida was just arrested for dealing $2,000 worth of blue chews, motherfucker. Yeah,
what?
in the senior center, bro.
Wow.
Viagra,
Yeah, we're talking
Forty
plenty.
little
higher, man. We're
bastards.
talking 65 plus, homie.
Like I said, hit me up when you're 40.
I'm telling you, the STD
We'll
rate
see.
in senior homes is
crazy.
through the roof.
Yeah.
They are bumping
But you
uglies
see
like
where I'm
crazy.
coming from, though, right?
Big time.
I
Actually,
love it.
I have
It's great.
two
That
really
gives me something to look forward to.
I have two funny stories actually.
Okay, let's go.
The first, because we were talking about high school earlier. The first is that when I first, he went to high school with my daughter.
Oh.
I didn't know this at first, and it's kind of weird.
Wait, what?
I have my daughter's
She's back
25,
on.
but I didn't know this at first. But when I posted him, we went to lunch, and I posted him, and
Love it.
she messages me. She goes, "Mom, I have mutual friends with that guy you posted. Like, how do you know him?" And I was like, "Oh, we're kind of dating." She goes, "Mom, I went to school with him."
Oh.
Aside from that, my best friend's daughter kissed him in high school under the bleachers. It's so funny because
You
she
dog.
told me.
Dirty
She told me later. I saw her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I kissed your boyfriend." I was like, "Girl, why are you apologizing to me? I should
didn't
be
tell me that.
apologizing to you."
Oh.
And it was so funny because she was like, "I feel so weird." I was like, "You feel weird. I feel weird because now I'm competing with my best friend's kids.
Oh.
For men."
Yeah.
It's kinda like
So that
it
was very
different.
awkward, right?
It was a little awkward. It was a little
Yeah.
awkward. But I really feel like I don't think we see that age difference. Like if people, I don't know. You know what I love about him is that like I can take him anywhere and he can hold a conversation with anybody, any age group, younger, older. He gets along with everybody. So I don't think people see that, like how old he is.
I think a significant factor in all this is that you look relatively really young.
Thank you. Yes.
So
You
that
do.
is
Well,
a huge thing.
I only get hit. I'm telling you, no old guys don't hit on me. And I'm thinking because they might be looking for younger than me, right? But I get hit on by
That or
20,
intimidation.
probably
What do you
2,
think, Ryan?
You're
up
still
to
younger than me
33.
by a lot. You're still quite a bit younger.
Okay, 22 to 33. That's like usually the age range of people that hit on me.
Hmm,
And
interesting.
it is really interesting.
in your 40s.
I'm like 43.
They
So-
probably sniff that.
I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
gotta touch on this. I really gotta touch on this because you made me laugh in my soul right now. You really did. And so it took me a year and a half after my divorce started before I was able to be in a place where I could date,
Mhm.
even consider dating. And my foreman that I work with down on the waterfront hooked me up, actually introduced me to his neighbor, and she kind of was dating someone. Then she kind of hit him up a few months later and said, "Hey, what's up with your buddy Ryan?" I guess her relationship didn't work out, and we just met just passing. She was doing laundry. It wasn't anything big, and I wasn't really interested. She wasn't interested, but
Dirty
she
laundry.
hit him up and he was like, "Hey, my
Mhm.
neighbor was like that," and I'm like, "Oh, dude, she's really cute." Well, she's 9.5 years younger than me, and found out she wasn't dating the guy, and I just went over and asked her out. You know, that's one thing about being a man.
Yes.
I'm not scared of nothing. I'm gonna come up, knock on your door, and be like, "Hey, you remember me? What's up? You want to go out?" Hey, it's not a big thing. You get shot down, you get shot down. There's always another door to knock on eventually, right?
Yes.
So, anyways, we went out for a few months, and first few weeks, she goes, "Hey, we started talking, and my son has a condition that's valley fever. It's an autoimmune disease. It's a fungus in the soil." And I was telling her about it, and she goes, "I know somebody with that." And we started talking a little bit more, and she's like, "Wait a minute, is your son's name Matt?" And I go, "Yeah, how do you know that?" And she goes,
No.
"Do you have a daughter named Taylor and
Oh.
Carissa?" And I'm like, "How do you know my kids, my stepkids?"
Oh,
And she's
wow.
like, and I'm like, "How?" Well, Matt had moved out for about a year with his buddy, and they had a buddy that was trying to get in the fire department. He was dating a girl a few years older, which was her.
Oh Lord.
And
wow.
that's how she
Wow.
got to know all my stepkids. But this story, and all of a sudden we're on like our third date, and we're already, and I'm like, I'm sitting there going like, I'm going to hell for this. This ain't right. I'm like,
Oh,
these
Lord.
kids. And so, yeah, only
That's
my
funny.
stepson lives with me. So he, they would
Yes,
talk and
yes.
stuff when she came over, but the girls really didn't quite
Mm-mm.
remember.
They didn't dig-
But I was
yeah.
just like, oh man, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
You know,
Well, that must be very awkward, right? That must be super awkward.
You know the saying now, it's like at my age, like I can date you or your dad.
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
know?
Yeah,
Right at
I've
the- right at
seen
the
that
middle ground.
meme.
Right there.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yes.
you are in the middle on that. Yep.
That is so true. So, Mark, what are you thinking about there? Because you seem to be a little bit pensive. What's going
Honestly,
through that mind
I
of
was
yours?
just thinking of how cocky she's sounding right now.
Ooh.
Hey, bro, don't worry. You're going to be in the same position. Just give it a few years.
I guess you're right.
You're going
Bro,
to be in the
it's your-
same
I don't
position because
blame
you're going
you.
to be like, I can date you or your
Not
mom.
mad at it.
Mid 30s,
Yeah,
bro. Mid 30s, man.
Yeah.
Or both.
Ooh.
Is that how
Wow, wow.
I'm 37.
Just
Oh,
playing.
okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let me ask you a question. How does your parents feel about you dating older women?
Be honest with you, they think they don't really know a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you
Oh,
tell
they-
them?
They will now.
Yeah, 'cause-
It's about
They
to be
know
on-
some of it, but they don't know details. And stuff,
Oh,
so they-
okay.
You know, I have a love life and stuff, but
Uh-huh.
they don't really get into it.
Is it
Like-
because they're older or because they're more old school?
Yeah, it's a little bit more old school,
Mhm.
and they just know, they see, because I kind of take care of them in a lot of stuff as well too. So they
Mhm.
see that I'm mature enough to know what's right, what's wrong,
Mhm.
you know what I'd like. They're not gonna get involved. They just make sure I'm good and stuff like that. So
Mm.
they, I call the shots on my.
Okay, so then if you were to say, "Hey, mom, dad, I'm going to marry a woman that's like 15 to 17 years older," they're going to be okay with that.
To be honest with you, I don't think they would be okay with it,
Mm.
but they're gonna say, like, they're probably gonna just feel like if this is what you love and this is what you like, they're not gonna stop that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do they want grandchildren? Is that pretty much what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sure.
They always tell me like get married while we're still here, have kids while we're still here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they want to see that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get that. And then Ryan, you're at an age right now where you could start all over. I mean, you could at this point.
Tuna,
still-
what was the rule? For women and men, what was the rule?
Okay. All right. So since we're
You
getting
gotta-
into
you
this
gotta
bust this
mathematical
out.
equation. All right.
Let's do it.
So for women, okay, they say the magical number is you divide your age by half. So let's say you're 40, you divide it by half and then add 7. So if you're 40 years old, then you would ideally want to date a man that is 27 if you want to date him younger than you. That's the rule.
Mhm.
Unofficial rule.
Yeah.
For males, it's you do the same thing, divide in half, right? And then I think you're supposed to, instead of add 7, you add 2 because guys are weird like that. But obviously, of age, everybody, please, make sure we're on the right page here.
Yeah. So if there's any 26-year-old cowgirls out there that want to go have some fun,
There you go.
Let
Well, you
loose
gotta let 'em know how to
with
get rid of
Ryan. You're gonna let loose with Ryan.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then another stat, which is crazy, for women that are 40 years and older, they have a 2% chance. 2% chance of finding a man that is 6 foot and taller and that makes 6 figures and more. 2% chance.
2%.
Wow.
2%. Just to let y'all know, ladies,
Yeah.
let's be realistic here.
Now, is this in California or in general?
In general, in the United States of America.
6 foot is hard.
In United
I
States
feel
of
an
America.
inch and a half short, and that's the story of
Even
my
the
life,
six-figure
isn't it?
part. Even the
I make
Same.
6 figures on my own.
There you go, girl. There you go.
Yeah, those are some pretty good statistics. Thank you for that.
No worries.
I
That's what I'm
like
here
that,
for.
and this is why you're here.
It's that guy.
How'd you
It's
come
solid.
up with that?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's
I
a
do a
lot of
lot of research.
statistics that will point out things, and everything's different. Like I said, your guys' relationship, whatever it may be, there's always discrepancies
Yes.
in statistics that do work, don't work, whatever it may be. In the end, you sit there and I look at both of you guys, and Mark, you're very mature for your age, and Cheryl, I mean, the both of you guys had some fun. You do your thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. And even earlier, we heard you guys kind of talking, conversing. It was just friendly banter, and it was like, oh, okay, they must know each other. I had no idea.
Yeah, no idea
but-
that you guys were exes.
Yeah, I had no
And I
idea.
was gonna
How long
say
did you
that.
guys date for?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
Wow. 2
Rock on.
We met on my birthday, actually.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's like
So it's going to
anniversary.
be 2 years?
It'll be 2 years next week
Wow.
It would've been.
Okay. And where did you guys meet?
at the bungalow in Long Beach. So I was having a birthday dinner, and my cousin dated one of his coworkers. And when they came, it was crazy. So he's Egyptian. So it was him, a white dude, a black dude, an Asian dude, a Hispanic dude, all in their 30s,
Mhm.
right? And it was my
Minus
friends.
him. 24.
Well, I didn't know how old he
Oh, wait.
was at the time. He was 23, I guess.
23.
And I think I asked him, he lied to me. I think I asked you how old you were and you lied to me. And I think he said 28 or something like that. And I was like, oh,
No,
you're,
I didn't say that old.
I think you
Whoa,
did.
whoa. It's not that old, bro.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I remember telling you like, oh, you're way too young for me. And then we just had such a good, we have a really good connection. It's really hard to explain.
Pretty good chemistry.
We do have really great chemistry.
Magnus
said,
just kind of.
with that said, why are you guys not together then?
Well, because the reality of it, right?
Mhm.
The reality of it. Like eventually, like, I want to get married as well
Mhm.
one day. And I mean, like my value apparently is going down. I don't think so, but
It is a generality. It's
Right.
Not, it's not literally saying your value goes down. It's just saying that the
Weighing the odds.
It's just the
Yeah.
desirability.
because it changes also in married couples too. Because in married couples, sometimes the wife all of a sudden becomes very successful later in life, and all of a sudden the man went from providing to being pushed to the curb, and then he's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "I'm starting a business. I'm doing this. And all of a sudden the dude's like, "Dude, I think my wife's gonna leave me because like she don't need me no more. She ain't gonna make dinner. She doesn't do, and not that he expects that, but it's a very common trait. And like I said, as you go through the cycle of life, things will change in different seasons,
Mhm.
right?
Totally.
And
I agree with
and
that.
so it's not a bad thing. And 10 years down the line, you guys might meet again, and it might be something
You
that
never know.
You,
Would
you know,
be willing to
or
do,
even
in
even
vitro
tonight after the
or-
show, you never know.
Yeah.
I tied my tubes probably about 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
Right.
You could
So-
still do it.
Would you ever adopt? in
Well,
order
I'm
to
gonna be a grandma
satisfy-
soon, so therefore I
Oh.
would say probably not. No, I think we had our time. We had a great time, and I kind of think a lot of people would say like, are you blocking your blessings by me having my eyes full with just him,
Mm.
and then vice versa. It's kind of
Mhm.
like, what if I were to meet that one person that's supposed to be my forever person, but I'm not looking, right? And I'm still not looking actually, right now. But it's kind of like,
So you're not ready.
no. I want to take. I've never actually been single by myself
Mhm.
ever.
So are you single now?
Yes,
Technically.
technically.
Okay.
So I want to
It's
say I
complicated.
jumped like I was like like think 15 when I met my ex-husband, and we got married at 21. Then we got divorced. Then I met my ex that I have my other daughter with, and we were together 14 years. And I met him soon after that. And so it was kind of like I've never been by myself, and I want to take time to kind of explore that.
Probably.
Was it a rebound? 'Cause you
No,
said you
definitely
met-
not. I mean, I wasn't looking for anything. Definitely, I
It's
want to
the
say
track
not
record,
a
girl.
rebound.
It's the track record.
Well, the track record though is I've held long relationships. That's
Right,
the track
but you
record.
haven't been by
Ooh.
yourself.
I haven't been by myself. Correct. Yes.
Right.
For a long period of time.
Yes,
For a long period of
period.
time.
So
And
you
I-
haven't
Okay.
found yourself.
Right.
Right.
I will tell you one thing that I've heard is that and again, dating isn't a bad thing, but being by yourself, knowing who you are, where you sit in life, and being to the point where you can be alone and happy
Mhm.
in life, everything else comes after
Right.
that. And you're gonna find and so when you're talking about long term and you want forever, you want those kinds of things, you have to come to the table being that.
Right.
You have to
For
come to
sure.
the table. And when you meet someone that's on that same page,
Mhm.
that is ready for forever and has worked out their demons as well. We're all infallible. We all have problems. We all have issues. We all have skeletons in our closet. But when you work out all your stuff to where you are truly happy in life and you know that one way or another, I'm going to make a good choice because I'm just happy being alone as well. You're going to make the right choice, right?
Yes.
Where there's no desperation. There's no choice that's pushing you one way or another because there's leverage. You're making a wholesome choice. And when a man comes to the table the same way and he's honest with you enough and has enough in his heart and his soul to be able to say, which communication is not always our strong point, men. It really is not. But
Takes a
if you
while.
have a man that will communicate that with you and tell you, hey, look, I fought my demons. I know what they are. And here's where I'm at in my world, in my life. If a man lets you in on that, something special, if you guys can connect on that, that is something that I would say would be that forever. Not to knock in between, because in between creates who you are,
Right.
right?
I really think I needed him at that time. Like I like
Yeah.
I said, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from him. Surprisingly, right? Because he's so young. But I did.
So you guys helped each other. You guys helped each other mature. You guys
Right.
helped each other carry on through your life. And
Very much so.
And we always said that we would always end on a good note, and we'd always be in each other's life in some capacity, right? As friends or
Yes.
whatever that may be. I think we always looked forward to that.
And that's a good thing because you should always have that, right? That's being a grown up, right? That's being mature, correct?
Yeah. I always wanted to be like his cheerleader. He has a lot going on and a lot of good, great stuff going on. And I always wanted to be by his side, like supporting him for that.
And that's very nice. What do you think about that, Mark?
I think I'm here for it. I would like to accept all the cheerleading I can get from her, because she does.
You got to speak a little louder.
Okay, my bad.
hey, that's the style, girl.
I know, right?
You got that voice.
The bedroom voice.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
What was
just,
it, Drake and what?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny and
Yep,
Drake.
Bad Bunny. Yep.
Go ahead.
She's always been there for me, so I do appreciate that, and she means a lot to me. So she's always gonna be a special person to me. When she like how she says, we're always gonna be in each other's life and stuff. So that's always gonna be going on. I feel like
Right on.
So do you guys see yourselves as
even when I'm married,
a lifelong?
She'll be the
friendship?
godmother of the babies, right?
I guess you could say that.
I
Your-
think so.
Your future wife will be jealous, bro.
Very much so.
and
Yeah.
your future husband will be jealous
Yeah.
too. So just so you know, that might not be ideal. It might be idealistic right now. And that's if it works, blessings to you guys. But
Totally.
just know that your significant other in the future might not have that same attitude.
You're right.
Because they're gonna
Mhm.
say, wait, what? You guys what? Wait, no. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so as long as you're honest and up forth and have that character and integrity to put it forth, if they're
Honestly.
comfortable with it, then it's on them. But be careful because you gotta be straightforward on that.
Mm.
And
It's
sometimes-
a tough one, and it's idealistic, which I commend you on.
I feel like honesty does play a big part.
It does.
Totally.
And then not only that, and for growth, you guys have to remove yourselves from each other and learn how to cope without each other.
Damn.
Yeah.
And learn how to focus and drive
He ain't
with
playing.
each other.
This
what I mean?
experience.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Yeah, man. And that's the
Reality
thing.
of it, yes.
Yeah. You have to learn, as a man, you have to learn how to do things just you. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? To get those roots growing, man. Like right now, you're
Because you're so
sprouting.
young.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
so young.
And I
You have
think
a
we'd
life.
always come back to each other, and that's the problem. Like, not the problem, because I don't see it as a problem, but I mean, like, we'll never end up actually leaving each other and growing because,
It's just
yeah.
a loop.
Yeah.
It's
It
just a
is.
loop.
It really is.
Totally.
Bro.
Right.
Sometimes
I
you
don't
just
have a
need that
problem
cookie.
with it. I feel like, you know what
I
I'm
don't have
saying?
a
We
problem
just
with
living
it.
life.
Why are you
making those
We
faces
living
over
life.
there?
Enjoy it, yeah. Enjoy it as much, but just know that in order for you to get that full growth and
Yeah,
to move
absolutely.
on, you are gonna have
more
to,
doors can open up. You know?
exactly
For sure.
exactly.
Yeah, like I said,
And-
like blocking our blessings.
Yeah.
He was a blessing to me. But obviously, and I hope I was a blessing to him. But
Sure.
obviously you never know. Like, if we're still seeing each other, then we might be blocking something that's meant for us.
Mhm.
You know, as men, we still dream about you girls.
Aw.
It still messes with
Yeah.
our head.
No, I know when he's older.
We love in a different dimension than you do because you girls are emotional. We're not. So when
Oh yeah.
so it
I don't know.
it
Sometimes
Yeah,
I'm
it plays
not-
games
not
in our heads.
emotional.
It really does.
emotional?
It
Yeah.
really
Oh,
affects
shit.
us. Hey,
Good
dude,
thing.
you dream about her? Yeah.
She said she's not that emotional, so I, was
I
wondering.
know.
No,
yeah.
no. Mary Lou's a little tough.
I don't
That's a
think
good
I'm
thing.
that
She's
emotional
tough.
either.
She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart, but she's a little tough. But she's
Yeah.
got to deal with Tui, and Tui's a tough boy. So hey, nothing but love, but for Tui.
husband.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I know he's that's a whole different story. He's always like, "You're so mean," but it is what it is. I got to keep him on his toes.
Oh,
Yes.
so-
That's right.
hmm
Oh.
But
So you're wearing the pants.
no, you know
Okay.
what? I won't say that because I feel that we both wear the pants, and he to me, I wouldn't be where I'm at without him,
Okay.
and I feel the same, vice versa. My marriage has gone through a lot, and we're where we're at now, but it's been hard, and but we are where we at, and we're happy,
That's
That's
all
what
that
counts.
All that
matters.
matters.
right?
Well,
All
you
that
being a
matters.
strong woman, and
Yes.
you're both strong women,
Yes.
it is definitely a turn on to men. And you have to have a strong man that can understand that and that doesn't get walked over. Because the instant you walk over a
Yes.
man, it's over.
Yes.
It's over. It
Yes.
will not work. He
Mhm.
will leave you, cheat on you, whatever it may be. He might stick through it for decades, but in the end, it's not going to work. Because sooner or later, he's going to grow a spine and be like, no.
I'm
I
done.
don't need this. I've sacrificed everything. Not going to handle it. So strong woman, strong man work really, really well.
Well
I know
in
Tui's
hand.
a strong boy.
Yeah.
Compliment
He
He's
really
a strong
is.
man.
And,
I nothing but
and-
love for him.
Let me tell you something. Most of the time, I'm like very demanding, right? But there's that one time when he calls me by my name and his voice is firm, and I'm like, okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
it when he puts.
I'm
that.
like,
Mhm.
You're like, are you
okay.
Foot
serious?
down.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I better shut up.
Yeah.
And
but I won't tell him.
he ain't playing. I'm telling
No,
you, he
he-
ain't playing.
Yeah.
I've known him for a lot of years. He's not playing at that point.
Then I'm like, okay, my tail goes just right under in between my legs. I'm okay. No, but like he says, it takes two strong people to hold each other's back,
Does.
and that's how it's supposed to be.
It's also how you complement each other as well. It's like a yin and a yang, a dark
Yeah.
and a light.
Totally.
It's a 69. right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that's my
Has to
year.
be.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, you're 69, yeah, girl. But you know what I mean, though, right? It's
No,
'cause
yeah.
You gotta
Yes.
feed each other. You gotta compliment each
Totally.
other. There's not one more than the other.
No.
It's all symbiotic. It's all one.
I like that.
Well, and
Exactly.
I've heard couples say it this way too: is they'll walk in and they'll talk to each other and say, "Hey, where are you at today? Do you are you at a 1 or are you at a 10? Do I need to
Mm.
carry you or do you need to carry me?"
That's
and
pretty cool.
to be able to come in the door and talk to your spouse that way is something I never had. But
That's good
it
community.
really
That's
was
very
interesting and
smart.
something that I learned. And I went, "Wow, that's pretty good," because if your spouse can carry you when you're down, whether you're a man or a woman, mostly men, we don't show our emotions very well, and we very keep things bottled up.
Yeah.
We do. We operate in our box.
And we spoke about
and
that on our
yeah,
Yes.
our box, and that's it. But if you can have a wife that can sit down and say, "Where are you at today? How was your day?" And not just how was your day, where are you at?
Yeah.
Are you at a
Mm.
1 or are you at a 10? Do I need to be there for you? Or are you at a 10 and let's go have dinner and let's go dancing, and
Mhm.
That's really
One
that's
thing
Right?
he recommended that we actually never did was he told me like at the end of maybe the end of the week, the end of the day, kind of check in with each other and see like what happened this week, how are things, how are we?
Okay.
And he mentioned that multiple times, but we actually never did it. I
Mm.
want to say. I mean, I don't know. And I thought about that the other day. I was like, That could have been one of our downfalls that we didn't check in with each
Didn't
other.
communicate.
Was it
Right.
he tried but you just didn't reciprocate?
No.
or
He
it was
would
just
send
a
me like
dual?
these reels about married couples that would do that. At the end of the week, they would have alone time. It was quiet, and they would just talk about like, how was your week? What can I do better next week with each other and stuff like that.
Okay.
He sent that to me multiple times, but I don't know why we
Dude,
actually
how old
never
are you
did it.
again?
Wait, what's your sign?
This
Hey,
guy-
bro,
this guy-
mad
he's
props.
He's
bro. That's
Gemini.
solid,
He's
dude.
my soulmate,
Yeah.
a Libra
Yeah.
soulmate.
That's really
He's an
solid.
old
That's
soul.
mature.
No, yeah, for
Really
sure.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Matters.
What's
I'm
your
25. I'm
what's your
25. I'm
sign?
Gemini.
A Gemini.
Which is the
So you're
Libra's
close to
Best
soulmate.
sign out
Cancer.
there, you know?
No,
No, the Libra is the
I don't
best
know about
sign,
that,
and
but
that's Gemini's are our soulmate.
that's cool.
They say.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty
At
cool.
at
Interesting.
25 to be thinking that way is very mature. Most 25-year-olds men were a little bit batshit crazy at that age. We're just chasing everything in town. So to be that mature is very responsible.
Thank you, brother.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much. This was a great session. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for having
Cheryl.
me. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This was great. And of course, Ryan, you're always the best. And my
Ryan.
co-host.
Happy to be here.
Tuna.
Yes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you guys have any input, please put it in the comments. Please follow and share on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify at Let Loose with Lou. Bye.
Bye.
Yo.
That's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening. It truly means the world to me. If you enjoy the show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe at Let Loose with Lou on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify.